I see a lot of the other guys are here right now, so let me see here. Chief, what's up, buddy?
Hey, it'd be great. I'm really good today. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. The reason I call on you first because I think that we're going to kind of go over some topics, but I think the one that's really on everybody's mind is that new white paper.
Yeah, it's an interesting read. It took a little bit of effort to get it completed. I'm pretty pleased with the content. Uh, I think it answers a lot of questions that people have had, and I do encourage people to spend some time reading it. And trust me, you will. At 119 pages, it's probably one of the bigger white papers out there in crypto. But I think look, it's really good. I'm very pleased.
Awesome. So, there's Jory. I think we have some contest campaigns and stuff and some winners and stuff like that. Jory, I don't know if you want to go over that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of things kicking off, obviously, as we ramp up. So heaps of things coming in the next couple of days as well. But what we currently have live as of about 15 seconds ago is our win one of 25 LayerOneX premium wallets. So it's a Gleam campaign, and it's all about learn to earn. So it's the perfect opportunity for you to show your knowledge on everything you've researched about LayerOneX. There's a variety of questions for you to go through, for you to answer, throw down your knowledge, and just, I guess, do some real good background research on all the questions you could possibly imagine. So that is live as of right now, and I believe the access is on the website. But I'll also post that after this call. I'll also post it in the Discord as well. So that's starting now. We also still have our other previous Gleam campaign running, which will run until Monday, which is task reward based for Twitter, for Reddit, for all those fun things, tweet reshares, all that sort of stuff. We've been progressively adding little tidbits in there as well, so there's always opportunity for more points, from YouTube videos to long form content, all that sort of stuff. Also, we have the Twitter threads coming up as well. So, it's already live. So it's a basically thread competition for writing a long form thread on LayerOneX, like educational pieces. So I think one of the big things, obviously, we're trying to get out there is showing people that this isn't just any old blockchain. We want the people that are putting out the information to understand that it's really revolutionary. So what better way to do that than educate people and get them educating others as well? The best way to learn is to teach, they say.
And earn, right? Learn and earn.
Yeah, learn and earn, absolutely. And then the last few things to just go over, we have a couple of winners from our Zealy and also from our memes. So just to quickly go over those, I know this got announced in the Discord anyway, but for the quizzes, first was Copper Bear. If I butcher some of these names, I apologise. Second was Ayayan. Third, Dirk Oz. Fourth, Heritsav. And fifth is Bobber. So that was for the quiz. And then we also had the meme winners. Let me just bring that up. So many tabs. I'm sure everybody understands. Okay,
what?
Cool.
You have more than one?
Yeah, it's all the tabs everywhere. So in first we had like I said, I'm going to butcher some of these names, and I apologise. Ki Han Q, and second, and that there was 150 L1X tokens. And second, we had Coin Senior with 100 L1X tokens, and third, I Call Crypto with 50 L1X tokens. So really big congratulations. I know there were some awesome ones in there. Some a bit on the wild side, some on the very clever side. So we went through and we selected the ones that we think sort of really resonated with what we were trying to build as well. That made the most sense for the direction we're trying to take the project. So really big congratulations to everybody that's already won those. Just as a reminder, obviously, we have this new Gleam starting today, and we've got another Gleam that's already continuing on. So there'll be plenty of winners from that, and really big push, obviously. The pre-sale early access is coming up today. So this is the opportunity, I guess, the learn and earn to get into that early for anybody that missed out on the premium wallet from before. So that's a wrap on that.
Well, that's an incredible wrap up. Everybody having that opportunity all over the place. Doesn't matter, threads, meme contests. I think you have a lot more kind of in the pipeline. Both you guys do in regards to contests. So, but speaking of like the public sale and wallet registration, maybe Kryptonaut can dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect, bro.
Awesome. Well, it's great being with everybody this morning. Some fun stuff coming out later today. We're starting the pre-sale of the public sale. So that'll be going live here probably around 9 o'clock, I believe it is, Western Australia time. And sorry, I don't know the UTC time on that one, but basically you'll be able to go in if you are a premium benefits wallet holder. You want to make sure that you use the same wallet that you did before. As long as you do, you'll be able to go through and start purchasing. Likewise, if you are a $50,000 or more contributor, you will also unlock the ability to pre-purchase as well. And then the Glean campaign, if you are able to go through and complete the tasks on that, you can definitely get whitelisted. It's not too late, and have access to be able to pre-purchase. We've gone through and basically you'll start the buying process on the pre-sale page come 9 o'clock tonight. And you will be able to just kind of follow through a couple of different prompts, connect your wallet, and then make your purchase from there. So we've tried to make it as simple as possible for those that are returning and even for those that are new, that are coming in. So that's the public sale. On the wallet registration, if you haven't already registered, highly recommend that you head over to L1X.foundation/wallet so that you can apply for early access on that one as well. Please just make sure that you put in the correct information that matches what you've registered and purchased with. It'll ensure that you get a better opportunity to jump ahead of the line and be able to get access to that. Those people that are selected will have access moving out, I believe it's August 10th. They will be able to go in and download the wallet and basically create their account and start playing with the wallet. That's kind of where we're at. So a lot of good things happening on my end there as well. But I'll be on Discord and Twitter if you guys have any questions throughout the day.
Hey man, did you acclimate to that AWST yet?
AWSP? No, not yet.
AWST, the time zone down there.
Yeah, I'm still trying. I'm still trying. It's hard for me.
Okay, man. Sounds like you're a little tired yet, but you'll get there. It's tough being Australian or Kiwi, right?
Yeah. Well, we had a great event that or Spark and I went to last night, and it was a really fun event, talking to new investors, existing investors that have been in crypto. A lot of them didn't have any idea what L1X was, but it was awesome to kind of talk with them and be on stage with some other great projects that are coming out as well. But be able to kind of showcase the wallet, be able to showcase a lot of the crosstalk that we're talking about, and kind of spread the love there. So it was a good event. A lot of people kept us out afterwards. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Mark, how are you doing? How'd that event go for you? Let's see.
Can you hear me, Big Red?
Yeah, man, you're good. Loud and clear.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And hello to the community. It's great to be here. Got some good stuff to go through today. But no, it was great. It was we had about a bit over somewhere between 200, 250 people at an event. We were one of 4 speakers last night. It was all about crypto and blockchain, and I think there was a lot of interest. There was some feedback from people that were watching the audience as we were speaking. There was a lot of wide eyes, a lot of wows. And when we came to the panel at the end of the night, I think 70% of all the questions were directed at us across the 4 speakers. So I think it's pretty. It's always exciting to talk about LayerOneX. It's always exciting to get the feedback from people and the interest from people around what we're doing, and see those wow moments for them. And we'll just keep on spreading that information as much as we can. So whenever we can get to an event so we can speak in person, we'll do that. And Cryptonaut did a great job in terms of explaining the wallet and what it can do in the future of crypto through that wallet experience as well.
And that event is recorded and posted, is it not?
Yeah, we're trying to get the recording off. It wasn't us that was hosting it, but they had a private live stream into their own private Facebook group. But they're going to get that recording to us, hopefully, in the next couple of days, so we can share that with you guys as well.
Awesome, man. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Spark, did you want to speak a little bit on the tokenomics? Since that white paper? Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, look, I think the big things that we really want to talk about today is obviously the new white paper's out. We want to talk about the roadmap now moving forward, and a few things on the roadmap that I think people can get really excited about. I think it's important for us, for the community, whether you're a developer, a user, or an investor, is to understand where we're going. What does the future look like with LayerOneX? I know we've already introduced, and Kevin and the team have built some amazing technology, groundbreaking technology that we're going to bring to market short term. But what is that building block towards, right? And so today we're going to talk about, on this AMA, we're going to talk about what the next 3 to 4 years looks like with LayerOneX, what our kind of end game in the next 3 to 4 years and where that's heading, and we'll go through that today. But we want to start with how does the next few months look, and then we're going to build up into the next 6 months, the next 12 months, and the next 3 to 4 years with LayerOneX. So if I can start at the beginning, I'll probably share this conversation with Merkle. But in terms of what the upcoming public sale and what people are getting into, and in terms of contributing to their public sale, is that what we're from the 31st of August, which is we're aiming to launch what we call Mainnet beta, and that's the first stage of our roadmap moving forward. So Mainnet beta will be a period where we'll be the vesting schedule for private sale contributors, early investors, and also public sale contributors as well will start on that 31st of August. And it will start to vest from there. During the Mainnet beta phase, which will last about 5 months, is that during that phase we will have you'll have staking options, you'll have also, the token will be able to use as a gas token. We're working with the DEX to have DEX features available, and then we'll be moving over those 5 months. We'll then be moving into Mainnet. So from Mainnet beta to Mainnet at the end of January. And the only real difference there between Mainnet beta and Mainnet at the end of January is that at the end of January, the token itself will become tradable. So what we're doing is with the tokenomics, all the tokenomics pretty much remain the same, but other than a couple of things that I think is really important for people to understand. And I'll get Merkle after this to go into Mainnet beta itself and why we've decided to go down that path. But in terms of the tokenomics, as I said before, the vesting schedules for private sale, early investor, and public sale will remain the same. Everyone will be vesting or not vested if you're public sale from 31st of August. You'll have staking options, you'll have gas token options. But the couple of things that have changed, we've added a cliff to the marketing pool. So that's got a cliff on that now. So that won't be in circulating supply. But also the team allocation. The team allocation now will not start vesting on the 31st of August. Everyone else is vesting from then for 15 months. The team has now got a cliff. The team's cliff will go all the way up until the end of January. And then the team will start vesting, but the team won't vest for 15 months. The team will vest for 24 months. And so we're going to push that team vesting back until then and vest that out longer as well, just because I think it's just a sign that we believe that this structure moving forward is the right thing to do for all developers, users, and investors. And also, I think it's a showing.
Well, I think it's a big thing, Spark, right? Like a lot of people asked about staking, right? Like plain and simple, that was like one of the big like asks, I think, when, you know, you guys went back to Prism and said, hey, look, a lot of the feedback we get is about staking. And so I well done, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I just saw a question in there. I'll quickly explain it before I bring on Mikkel. But someone's asked, what is a cliff? I'll just explain what a cliff is. A cliff is a period of time where there is no tokens vested to you. So it's a gap between the launch of Mainnet Beta and when the tokens will be vested. So no from the Mainnet Beta, so early investors, private sale and public sale, there is no cliff. You'll be vested as normal if you've got a vesting period, which is 15 months for private sale and early investor. It's no vesting for public sale, but there is a cliff for the team. That means there is a gap between Mainnet Beta and when the tokens will be actually vested. And the vesting for the team will start end of January and will be extended for 24 months. And once again, I think that's just a sign that, you know, the team believes in the project and here for the long term. But yeah, so what I'll do is might get Merkel to talk a little bit more about Mainnet Beta itself and the benefits of a Mainnet Beta phase.
Yeah, sure. I think this is the very first time, you know, I'm discussing about the roadmap, you know, for the protocol. I might take a few minutes here in the Discord AMA. I'm pretty excited actually, because I think, you know, this is the moment where each and every one of us who actually believe, you know, that L1X, you know, should or can really be sustainable. Here is the way to do it. And, you know, I think these timelines are going to test the times in what we actually believe in, right? So let's kick off with the two main timelines or launches, right? So the mainnet beta launch at the end of August this year, and then there will be a mainnet launch in January 2024. So the mainnet beta phase from August until January, you know, it's going to last for 5 months. In this, we will be officially launching the protocol with the L1X wallet and the L1X DEX. The focus for the next 5 months, you know, in the mainnet beta phase will be to onboard maximum amount of active L1X users, you know, that can start creating the Web3 ecosystem around L1X. The second main objective is to bring in liquidity into the network. In the mainnet beta, you will be able to claim and stake your coins at the protocol level to secure the network. And you can also use your L1X coins, you know, as the gas fee on the protocol itself. From the mainnet launch, you will be able to, you know, trade your coins or sell them on the exchanges if you wanted to. There are multiple reasons why we have decided, you know, this, apart from the expert opinions that we have received on the tokenomics and the launch as well. I think it is more, you know, about the sustainability and making sure that L1X gets to the number one spot, which will not take too long if you know, we stick our guns to this strategy. The big question is what will be available immediately in mainnet beta. Of course, the L1X wallet, you know, from a cross-chain perspective that everyone has been waiting for. One of the application will be using it with the L1X DEX, where you can start earning more on, you know, your already held assets, because the L1X DEX will allow you to perform, you know, multiple cross-chain operations, including cross-chain staking, swapping, lending, and borrowing. The point of difference here is I think the balancer pool and the AMM, you know, which will allow you to perform asset transfers and all those things from a multi-chain perspective, which will ultimately allow you to open up gateways to trade. We'll probably launch more information on this or release more information on this soon. The other major update is SDKs will be available for developers and DeFi projects that, you know, want to leverage the wallet and the DeFi stack. I think this is the moment when, you know, we will see that our DeFi stack will start outperforming, you know, the already existing protocols in the market, and the visibility on what cross-chain layer 1 protocol can bring to this space. We will be targeting probably, or literally all the DeFi projects out there by allowing them to integrate the L1X wallet and the DeFi SDK as well, which will not need a magnitude change in what they are currently doing, but it will sure bring infrastructural and value changes to what they can now offer. I think when this happens, we will see that we have staked the existence of L1X in DeFi. But apart from this, developers and projects will also have the ability to build with existing smart contracts that we will be launching with or making it available in the mainnet beta launch. Also, again, the Lego concept over here, where you can mix and match any smart contract. So the smart contracts will be, as previously discussed, fungible and non-fungible token creation, swap, stake, lend, borrow SDK, or just use it independently if you don't want to use the SDK. Probably the ability of tokenizing the asset as an NFT, using it and at the same time selling it on major NFT marketplaces. I think this opens up like heaps of opportunities. I was talking to some DeFi person yesterday, and this piqued our interest because this opens up opportunities to, let's say, NFT or asset portfolio on ETH, for example, and trade options or derivatives on the other chain. Other examples of this use case could be games, as we discussed. You can have NFT as an asset and don't sell it, but you can lease it, so you can start earning trail commissions. For example, the music industry could adopt this. And the last smart contract would be the health-based smart contract. So these will be the smart contracts available in the mainnet beta. The other smart contract that will be available probably towards the end of the mainnet beta, and this is one of the most interesting component of L1X that we will ever launch, is the L1X ID, which will not only allow you to retrieve your private key and make access to Web3 more simple, but more importantly, it will also allow you to host your identity securely. Now, if you remember the health contract, we are going to borrow technology from there. You can also map multiple chain accounts into this single ID. So let's say you've got 5 different accounts, on Solana, 10 different accounts on Ethereum, 20 different accounts on Polygon. You can map all these accounts into a single ID. All you will ever have to do is, simplistically speaking, remember your name. How are we going to do this? Probably stay tuned for that. I'm working on it. Not to say that, I think I don't like 4337 that Ethereum is implementing, but, it's pretty funny because to retrieve your account details, it's like a half-baked solution where you're going to pay like $10 to, to call a contract every time. I think it's good, but we need a more comprehensive solution if we are going to make a dent. Yeah, if we are going to make a dent and compare it to something like Apple or Google ID, we need a more comprehensive solution that, people can actually use. In August, you will be able to download the L1X wallet, claim and stake it to the nodes to start earning rewards on your staked value. Now, what happens over here is, there are 2 types of staking. One is the node that will be staking, and you can stake as a user as well. So the beauty over here is, unlike the other protocols where the rewards go to the nodes first and then they distribute it to the users, over here, there will be, a system like a sub-register where the rewards will be automatically distributed to, let's say someone holding, 100 L1X coins who delegates the stake to the node, but they will be receiving the rewards directly. Not to say that node operators can't have their own commission models, but this is more to do with the fact that you don't want the node to take your assets and run away. You will also be able to use L1X coin as the gas fee, at the protocol level itself in the DEX and other applications that we launch. Code audit is in progress as we speak, and we will be open sourcing the code in mainnet launch, that is in January. We will do it in 2 ways. One report will be available before the mainnet beta launch, where you can check the performance and numbers on them. And after that, we will be releasing reports every month until mainnet launch, so you can see the updates or whatever you find interesting in there. So this is until January. It's a long list, but we'll hammer them one by one. From January 2023 onwards, let's talk about the vision or the goal in 3 different phases: the short, medium, and the long term. We are in progress with some exchanges out there, apart from the DEXs that we will hopefully launch the L1X coin. And of course, the L1X coin will be available to trade then. We'll expand the SDKs to gaming, health, and IoT. Not to say that we won't be doing it in the mainnet beta, but I think focus is pretty important for us for the first 5 months, in the mainnet beta launch. Once we have the TVL increasing on the network and the users coming in, it then makes perfect sense to expand the horizon on the application of things. I think the gaming SDK is going to be pretty interesting because people will actually see the performance comparison across different protocols being built and the difference in building with us. So that's a winner for us over there. In the medium term, now hold your guns to this. I mean, the medium term, adding more chains, yes, but the most important one, I think, is adding Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. So from this year onwards, I will be focusing on, after the mainnet beta, I'll be focusing on two most important things, which is L1X ID and integrating Bitcoin with L1X. So the way we are going to do that is we are going to build a programmability layer to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin follows the UTXO model, and the way our database works, we can make optimizations and, changes to it, where you could tokenize Bitcoin through a multi-sig and use it at multiple places while still keeping it as, a store of value. So I think that's pretty interesting, having Bitcoin integrated at a layer 1 interoperability perspective. In the long run, probably this medium term is by June 2024, we will integrate Bitcoin. In the long run, by December 2024, the goal is to build our own decentralized cloud computing platform that will allow us to start entering into the hardware market as well. Now, this, of course, is the goal until December 2024. But if you look at why we want to do this in the next 2-3 years, what's the bigger vision over here? The rationale over here is that we envision a product that L1X wants to launch that will have no screens attached to it in the next 2 to 3 years. And the ability to have an operating system built on top of the protocol that uses the decentralized cloud computer and not being tied up to a device is going to open up, I think, human opportunities that we have never seen before. For example, having the ability to use your phone through laser technology, and doing whatever you wanted to through the L1X ID being embedded in that particular device for yourself. So, of course, these are some big plans, but as I broke it down, I think the next 5 months, we will be focusing on bringing in more users, more value to the network, and focusing on the DeFi stack. So we could literally go to any DeFi project out there, there may be 50, 60,000 of them, and offer them something that they can actually use from a multi-chain perspective.
Awesome. Mirko, would you mind if I asked a question in relation to that SDK that you were talking about, in relation to, you spoke to, adding a lot of users and, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but when I hear SDK a lot, I always think it like that is a package, if you will, that's presented to developers, right? And developers, as you said, aren't really marketers, and what what a coder might know might be dangerous about marketing. And so in developing an SDK, if you will, like that's incredible for the developer, but is there going to be a similar type of SDK, if you will, for like a marketer so that we can bring in influencers and marketers, and so there's a uniform message but tailored, so that they can give out a tailored message to, a particular protocol that they approach and say, hey, have you checked this technology out? Have you checked out LayerOneX? Is there something in the works that would be possible to provide, for lack of a better term, an SDK for a marketer?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. So, just to clarify here, the SDK, is an easy way to develop things, but more importantly, why we want to actually integrate, these 4 features into an SDK is because many of the times these DeFi projects don't know maybe the opportunity out there if these things are integrated on a cross-chain perspective. So of course, the influencers will be able to understand, the importance of it. We have quantitative models coming up as well, along with qualitative reports. And the idea is any DEX or DeFi project out there, or let's say, for example, say influencer out there, they could take this actual product and, easily build something around it, or just provide it to any DeFi project as a pitch, right? So it's just made simple to like plug and play into a DeFi project.
Yeah, love it. Okay, perfect. So we're at the question section of of the LayerOneX, and so these questions have been asked, and whoever wants to answer these from the team, feel free to jump in. Referral codes, how can they be retrieved if lost? How can the referrals be tracked? When and where will the information be available to see? Whoever wants to take that one, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the referral code will be available on the website. If you lose your referral code, you'll have your email associated with it. You can put in your email and check, what balance you have on the referral as well. So I don't think it's a pretty big deal, losing your referral code. But if you want to retrieve your referral code, just send us an email and we'll provide it to you.
Okay. Next question here. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to find the mute button. Yeah, to kind of add like where you'll be able to see your information, we're actually trying to build that into the wallet experience. And so that way you'll be able to see kind of like what you've earned. Likewise, we're also trying to, every time a referral is registered, basically we're trying to push out an automated email that will send out to the person. So there's a little bit of a hiccup with that one, but we're trying to work through that one as quickly as we can so that we can get that out to people, just so that they know that some of their referrals are starting to kind of pour in.
Okay. While you're on the call here, Cryptonaut, here's a wallet question, and you talked about it a little bit earlier. Okay, so with the way the wallet is being set up along with the beta launch, how will this be considered decentralized or centralized? So I don't really know how to interpret that, but maybe you can do a better job.
Well, I mean, I think the ultimate goal is, and Kevin and the rest of the team would agree that we are definitely shying away from anything that's centralized. So we're trying to come up with means of how to make everything decentralized. And so with the way that people will, set up their wallets and things like that, it's pretty decentralized at the moment. It will literally be, you'll get an email notification that it's time and that you're eligible. And at that point, you just click on it. It'll go over. And like I used before, a lot of things will happen under the hood to make it happen, with generating the wallet address and setting you up and kind of setting up the wallet for you, and then making it as simple as a one-click button over to claim your tokens. And that way we're not involved with it. It's all kind of decentralized at that point.
I think too, and when we talk about this decentralized, I think something that gets lost a little bit in this is your own wallet personal security habits, right? Like when I set up a new wallet, for instance, I set up a new like Google profile that's not linked to anything, and that email doesn't go out to anywhere else, right? It's not shared with friends. It's not shared anywhere, and so I think maybe like a little standard operating procedure guideline, kind of our guidebook for people to understand, like, don't use your crypto profile, if you will, for online shopping or for signing up for fantasy football or something like that. Keep everything kind of compartmentalized and decentralized, if you will, so that it's contained if you have a slip up. And the best thing to do is to just have handy passwords and keep them kind of separate and written down. And I know Omega, we've talked about this a lot, but you can't fix everything with technology. Some of it just does come down to the user too. So I think something in relation to a little guidebook for people, not to be condescending, but just to be helpful, I think would be kind of in order as well.
Yeah, well, we're definitely rolling out a version 2 of the wallet page. As soon as it becomes available to everybody, we'll roll out version 2 of that, which kind of basically does exactly what you're talking about. It'll walk you through the different screens, the how-tos, things like that. But like you said, I mean, even this goes back to my statement. If we're using smart contracts, why aren't we using smart wallets, right? Mm-hmm. And so in my mind, the book's great, the guideline's great, but what if we could take those guardrails and literally implement them into the wallet and continuously keep updating those guardrails? I agree 100%. Like, technology can't fix stupid human errors all the time, but it can kind of warn you. It's kind of like when you go to a malicious site that is been flagged or deemed malicious by Google. Yep. It gives you a warning, and it gives you the option if you want to proceed or not, right? I can't help it if you decide you want to go onto the site and it actually is a malicious site, right? That's ultimately your call. But if we can take that book and literally build it into the user experience with the wallet, with everything checking and trying to have a check and balance system as much as we can through a decentralized kind of way, I think that's where the ultimate user experience is going to come into play, and why we would see a greater adoption, especially with new users, because of how friendly it is, right? If crypto's so easy, grandma can use it, right?
Mm-hmm. Or my mom.
Yeah.
No, for sure, man. It's a weird thing though, because you can do so much and you can do everything perfectly, and then in the blink of an eye, like everything you worked for is gone. So so many people aren't going to jump, they won't jump into crypto for really kind of that. When they hear that, I could lose everything, they're like, oh, hang on, I don't think I want to get involved. So I think really, as you put it, putting it under the hood and removing all of those hurdles, but keeping the protection in place for people, but doing it in the simplest manner, I think that is really the way to bring people in here. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Okay, let's move on here, people. Tokenomics or public sale. And Spark, I think you touched a little bit on this, but will people receive confirmation emails when registering public sale early access to wallet when somebody registers or uses referral codes? You see that question, Spark?
Let me have a look. That sounds like 2 questions, but let me...
It's 3 questions, but yeah, sure. Let's address it. I'll address it one at a time then, brother. Public sale. Will people receive confirmation emails when registering for the public sale?
Yes, there is actually already a confirmation email going out when you're registering.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just going over.
So to kind of give, I don't know if this has been gone over, apology if it's already been talked about, but basically, let's say you're a premium benefit wallet holder, so you've got the NFT to confirm that. What happens when you, to gain the early access, when you go to register, so you still need to go and register on the public sale page, it will automatically tag you as an early access participant, and we'll open that up from 9 p.m. tonight, AWST, it will open that up, or 1 p.m. UTC, it will open that up for you to be able to access and contribute. If anyone has any issues that they think they are a premium benefit wallet holder and it doesn't open that access up, please just raise a ticket. We can help you get that access. And
again, just echo. It's very important that you use the same wallet address that you used to purchase. When you connect your wallet, just make sure you're using the correct wallet address that you used before. That's the easiest way to bypass the security measures that we have in place.
And I think there was another part of the question for referrals. Be great.
Yep. Let me see. I'm just going to read the whole thing because it's...
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Will people receive confirmation emails when registering for the public sale, early access to wallet, and when somebody registers or uses referral codes?
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like there's three points. So yes, you receive the email. In terms of early access to the wallet, I believe there is a limited number that will get early access, but the premium benefit wallet holders will be priority in terms of getting that access to the wallet. But you will need to still register. I believe that's right, Cryptonaut. You'll still need to register for the wallet access. And if you are a premium benefit wallet holder, then you will be prioritized.
Correct. The key thing to do there is pre-register if you haven't.
Yep. And then I think the third part of the question was regarding referrals. Will people know whether people have used their referral link and can they check that? So what we're setting up is the ability to be able to see that in a much more, I suppose, efficient way than we had in the private sale. So you'll be able to go ahead and enter email address or wallet address and be able to see any referrals that have come in under your referral code. So we're having that set up as well. We'll aim to have that ready by so you can check that by the general access on the 24th.
Okay. Spark, here's another question for you. It's tokenomics. You and Merkle Root talked about this already in the beginning, so I'm just going to read the last part of I'm going to read the first part and then the last part of the question. Can you give an overview of the initial release in the first year or two of the supply, which you did? The last part of the question is how much is allocated to L1X DEX and the nodes?
Yeah, so the best place to get a really good view of the tokenomics distribution and the allocation is through the white paper, so the new white paper that's got the tokenomics there. So you'll be able to see there's on the white paper itself, there's a section there that it's called token release schedule, which is basically a graph over the next up until I think September 2033. Which will show you the new tokenomics release schedule. Now, when you look on the left axis, it'll show you how many millions of tokens will be in circulating supply. Now, let's say, for example, if you look at circulating supply at September 2025, it's about 35%, so it's 350 million tokens. It's circulating supply, so in about 2 years' time. And then, so you'll be able to see and kind of work out, knowing that, there's a hard cap of 1 billion, you'll be able to see how much is in circulating supply, when it's in circulating supply, and what sort of distribution is there. Now, I think maybe I haven't answered the last part of that question. Just repeat that again. Be great, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. How much is allocated to L1X DEX and nodes?
Yeah, so for the nodes, so in terms of the reward distribution to the nodes, it's that comes out of what we call the validator pool. Mm-hmm. So the validator pool is that vesting period. So vesting, for those who don't know, means just the distribution of the tokens over a period of time. And so that vesting period vests for 60 months, so 60 months, and the total allocation of the validator pool is 5%, so there's 50 million tokens. that are dedicated to the validator pool. Now, also on top of the distribution or the pool that's been set aside for validator and node rewards is you've also got the distribution of the transaction fees on top of that. So the transaction fees, when transaction fees are generated, they're split up into 3 different areas. So 50% of the transaction fees will actually go to the nodes, the full nodes, to those and basically assigned to those who are staking on the full nodes, so they can get rewarded not only from the validator pool but also from the transaction fees. 25% of the transaction fees are distributed to those mobile device holders that have the wallet, so for validation. So basically, if you've got an L1X wallet, you don't have to do anything other than have that wallet, be active on the system, and then you're automatically included in the validator pool for that 25% distribution of fees. And when you're selected, because it's a random selection every time the transactions happen, whenever you're selected to validate, you will be actually airdropped L1X tokens. Now, if you think about normal airdrop schemes, they normally have a limited amount of time. This potentially is the largest airdrop in history, because as long as for the life of the protocol and for the generation of transaction, for the life of the generation of transaction fees, as long as you have an L1X wallet, you will be in the validator pool and be eligible to receive airdrops from transaction fees. And then the last, so that's 3 parts: 50% to the full nodes, 25% to the mobile or the wallet holders, the L1X wallet holders on their mobile devices or smart devices. And then the last 25% of transaction fees is distributed to the foundation, where it'll either be locked or it'll be reinvested in the protocol to grow the protocol and continue to grow the protocol.
Man, that's a pretty good answer. In tangentially related to that, I think there's going to be some a more comprehensive white paper on nodes and how all that's going to function within the next few weeks.
Yeah, really good. So, and look, we've probably hinted around the nodes that are coming up and the information that's going to. So in August, in early August, we'll actually release the full node documentation. So we'll go through and you'll be able to understand staking requirements, system requirements in terms of running nodes. And there is a special allocation of nodes that we'll be announcing as well to run those nodes. But I would say they will be highly coveted. Running a node on LayerOneX will be highly coveted, not just because you're not just securing the network in terms of the L1X protocol.
You're a tiny little DEX yourself, being a node, right? I mean, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. And you're also securing the interoperability piece as well, right? Yeah. Because it all goes through the consensus mechanism. So it's a pretty unique opportunity for people to be able to run that node. But obviously, if the resources aren't there, if it's too technical for you to run a node, if you don't have the resources to even delegate or stake to the node, the wallet is a really good option, because and this is where LayerOneX tries to give access for people to participate at every level. So if you don't have the resources to stake to the node and you don't have the technical knowledge to set up or even delegate to a node, just download the wallet and you're automatically in the validator pool, and that way you can participate and be rewarded as well. But for those wanting to get in a little bit more into the protocol and get a little bit more rewards, then you've got the full node opportunity to either delegate the stake or run the full node. But yes, we will be releasing more information on the nodes. We'll also be releasing more information around Mainnet beta, what it is, what it means, what you can do, and also the roadmap as well. We talked about the roadmap verbally here, but I think when people see that roadmap, they can see it in the timeline, and there's these explanations of the things that are happening on the roadmap. So those will be released in the next 24 to 48 hours, so people can really get a good view on that, so they know exactly the short-term roadmap around Mainnet beta, but also the long-term roadmap about the vision where we're heading.
I think this is a really powerful comment here in the chat from Dirk Oz, and I just want to read this because this sentiment is echoed all the time in crypto, and I never really hear a definitive answer what it actually means. So Dirk says, we really need a transcript of this future vision. So wonderful to hear L1X, Google, Apple mentioned in the same context. Amazing tech to come going forward. We do have to convey the roadmap, managing expectations. And here's my little dovetail to this is that, you know, is it possible that we could create some type of a contest here? You know, and this is for everybody here on the team here, maybe more specifically Sam and Jory, but what does Web3 actually mean to people? Because I've heard Merkle Root talk about it. He has a little bit different vision than what Cryptonaut has, and I think everybody has a slightly different vision of what Web3 actually means. And I think this tailors really well into this idea of what the roadmap is. And I know Omega has kind of said that the roadmap should be a living type of document, if you will, kind of changing over time, and graphics to kind of highlight that as well. But when we look at crypto, what does Web3 actually mean? I know Merkle Root, when I asked him, is there any Web3? And he said, no, it's like 2.01. Cryptonaut, he says, you know, it should all happen like under the hood. And I think everybody has a little bit different expectation of or definition of what Web3 is. So I think it would be neat to actually have a contest that revolves around people's idea of what Web3 is. And, you know, we could put that in some type of a document that highlights, you know, what people really think Web3 is and how LayerOneX is, you know, achieving, you know, that whole definition of all of those users. And I you know, I don't want to, you know, jump the shark and say we're going to accomplish all these things for everybody, but I would like to see really what people really define as that Web3 experience. Is my mic on?
Yeah, sorry, yep. That's a question for us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Just from my own opinion is, and I'll maybe just speak to a little piece of it, but and this also kind of wraps up into LayerOneX's vision.
Yeah,
is that the storage of data within Web3 allows for ownership of that data by the user. What I'm excited about, I mean, obviously you've got blockchain, which allows you immutability of that data, unchangeable. You cannot change it once it's in the block is created. However, what I see with Web3 is the most powerful thing is the ability because of the distribution of the data across multiple servers and not centralized, is the ability, and this is what we're aiming for in LayerOneX, is for that data to come back to the user. So at the moment, there are many corporations making a lot of money off your data, Facebook, Google, Amazon. For me, one of the biggest things with Web3 is to be able to give that ownership and the benefit of that data, whether it be monetization or security or whatever that be, back to the user itself. So back in the hands of the people that actually should own that data and any benefits associated to it.
And
I might just add a little bit to that as well. Now, the way I see it is that Web3 is really about introducing capabilities, everything from integration of blockchain across websites. So that actually comes back to really Web3 is a decentralized website containing code allowing the site to interact with various blockchains and blockchain-related applications. As Spark just mentioned, these large corporations have monopolized the Web2 space, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, and all the others out there as closed source applications. In Web3, it comes back to you should own your own identity and reveal parts of your identity only when you decide to. Developers don't usually build or deploy applications that run on a single server in Web3 or that store their data in a single database. Instead, Web3 apps run on actually on blockchain or decentralized networks.
So maybe I wasn't. I spoke too long on that and got confusing, Spark. But what I was getting at was like I'd love to hear everybody's kind of take on that. Like if everybody in that's here listening right now and listens to the recorded version, like if you could just write your idea of what Web3 is. Like I'd love to read it just because I'm interested to see what different people's perspectives are on that. Anybody else?
Sure, I'll
Red,
jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for me, you stated that I like to keep things under the hood, right? That's kind of one component of how I view Web3. I totally agree with Spark and with Chief, that it's about you're owning your own data. It's about getting things working together and collabing together in a way that it becomes smarter, right? Those are just components, but for me, it's also about the experience, the way we view, the way we interact with things is so, I don't know, archaic in my mind through Web 2. Web 3 is awesome, but I got to tell you, after sitting down and talking with Merkle Root and Spark and Chief this week, I'm like looking to Web 4. I know that's out there, but it's exciting of the techs that we're building, and in my opinion, we're going to buzz right through Web 3 if we can pull all this technology that we want to get and go for. I mean, we are going to be leap years ahead of a lot of other layer ones out there, and that's why we feel confident of putting our names up there with like Google and Apple, because if we can achieve that, we will be up there with that kind of brand.
Well, go ahead, Chief. Sorry, buddy.
Crypto Nort and I and some other guys, we've got a session tomorrow. We're working through some of these concepts and starting to capture them so we can actually start putting them into our roadmap and talk about them with various investors around. Some of the stuff that we've come up with already is, geez, I'd love to be able to tell you guys some of it because it's just blowing our minds about where we're going to take this. I don't think anybody's got any idea yet of what's coming. That's all I can say. Just keep watching this space.
Just kind of think of it this way. The iPhone is an extension of you. We want to make products and utilities that will become an extension of you in terms of blockchain technology, right? That's how we're going to take the evolution of this to the next level.
Well, I think that's a good place to end it, and look forward to the next 24 to 48 hours for some more information to come out. And just my personal request, if everybody could, really write your vision of what Web3 is. I'd love to read it. If you want to DM me or if you want to tag me, I'd personally like to hear that. But so that being said, I think we'll wrap it up here. Hey, thanks to everybody that's on the call right now, everybody that listens. We'll be back here next week. We're going to be it'll be a community just run style AMA. I think. Let me see, Red. Do you have anything you wanted to add here, real quick?
No, I think we're good. Just to reiterate that the information on the nodes will be coming out early August in more detail. Next week we are having a community AMA led, so everybody's welcome to go and enjoy that next week.
Okay. And just follow the links, follow the socials, get out there, share your experience with LayerOneX with, your friends in other protocols, share it with other protocols as well. But wherever you're at in the world, make sure you step away from your computer a little bit, enjoy your life a little bit, get out there and hang out with your friends or just get out there and do something outside. So we'll see everybody back here next week. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Good day. Bye-bye.